The Vaccination Superstation in Petco Park is shutting down. The new location's being considered to make sure the vaccines keep flowing. Plus, movie theaters reopening their doors today. The upgrades made to keep everybody safe while they enjoy the big screen. And after continued bluff collapses in Del Mar, we take an in-depth look at the short and long-term solutions to fix the problem.
ABC 10 News at 4 starts now.
The Petco Park Vaccination Superstation is permanently shutting down their operations tomorrow. Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Hunt. And tens of thousands of San Diegans have been vaccinated at that specific site. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala takes a look at the future plans.
It's been such a privilege to partner with the San Diego Padres, the county, and the city to bring this vaccination station to life.
The first of its kind in San Diego County, the Petco Park Vaccination Superstation is officially ceasing operations at the end of the day on Saturday, March 20th. Brendan Kramer, the chief operating officer of UCSD Health, which runs the site, says while there were some closures due to weather damage and vaccine shortages causing delayed appointments, the site managed to give more than 215,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine to San Diegans.
Petco itself almost took care of a quarter of the vaccinations in San Diego.
Now, some people who received their first dose at the Petco site won't be able to get the second there.
I really feel we have achieved the majority, if not all, of the second doses to be scheduled. However, if there are still some second doses hanging out there, we encourage those people to either via My Turn or directly through their care provider to schedule at another site.
The county has always known this site located at Petco Park's tailgate lot would be turned over to the Padres before opening day on April 1st. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says the county is eyeing possibly moving operations to the convention center once more vaccines are available.
Would love to continue to work with UC San Diego. They've been a tremendous partner and ally.
UC San Diego Health stands ready to partner.
For now, UCSD Health is focusing on its other superstation on campus and a mobile vaccination unit which travels across the county, providing vaccines in some of the hardest hit areas. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
The site is expected to officially close between 5 and 7 p.m. tomorrow. And a reminder, the vaccine superstation at the Del Mar Fairgrounds will be temporarily closed tomorrow. They were also closed today. Scripps Health runs that site, and they will have to shut down because they received a low number of doses this week. Anyone with appointments during the closures will be rescheduled automatically through the My Turn online appointment system. And it's a big day for the box office in San Diego. County movie theaters are reopening today after being shut down entirely for so many months. And ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer De La Cruz is live at Town Center in Claremont to show us what a Friday night at the movies looks like again.
Hey, Kimberly, it is not crowded here at all. And if you purchase your ticket online, you don't even have to stop at the box office. Once you get inside, they have social distancing markers all along the floors. The concession stand is open. They're making popcorn right now. It smells really good, but you do have to keep your distance. They also have hand sanitizing stations all throughout the building.
Okay, got it.
The box office is back in business for movie theaters across the county. San Diegans were heading to Reading Cinemas for the first Friday night at the movies since last year.
Haven't seen a movie in maybe 2 years, so really excited to be celebrating this.
Now that San Diego is in the red tier, theaters can operate indoors with a maximum of 25% capacity or 100 people. Natasha Mulholland with Reading says they've taken every precaution to keep people safe.
I want to see a movie myself. I'm going to see every movie I can in the following weeks. I'm just thrilled.
When you book a ticket online, seats around you will automatically be blocked off to maintain social distancing. They're cleaning every theater between showings and using upgraded air filters. They're opting for cashless payment options, and masks are required at all times. And while theaters were shut down, companies had to get creative to stay in business. Reading launched their own streaming service called Angelica Anywhere, so viewers could still catch their favorite flicks in the comfort of their own homes.
At 25%, it's very, very difficult to make a profit. And, all we want to do is to, maintain an awareness in the community's mind and hope that people come back eventually. I think people have been so cooped up that it'll be a blessing to be able to get out of the house.
So Reading does have that mobile platform, Angelica Online. If you don't feel comfortable coming to a theater, you can just download it and watch online. We have that link on our website, 10news.com. And AMC theaters will also be opening 40 of their locations this weekend. Reporting live in Claremont, Jennifer Dela Cruz, ABC 10 News.
25%, but we're moving in the right direction. Thank you, Jen. The Birch Aquarium reopened its doors today. Guests are welcoming back people into the Hall of Fishes and the museum side of the aquarium. Several outdoor experiences modified for the pandemic are sticking around to encourage social distancing and to offer more for people that come. Their newest exhibit, the Marine Protected Area Touch Experience, where guests can get hands-on with juvenile sharks and rays, is also remaining open. There are more reopenings coming. Legoland announced today it plans to reopen April 1st. Well, that's the first day theme park to allow welcome back visitors under state guidelines. It will start with what it's calling preview days before reopening with more attractions on April 15th. The park says it's giving priority tickets to hotel guests and annual pass holders. Guests are required to purchase tickets in advance on the Legoland website.
At least 3 feet. That's how far the CDC says students should be spaced apart in classrooms when everyone is wearing masks. Today, the agency released the new guidelines for K-12 schools to reflect the latest science. It says middle and high school students should still be at least 6 feet apart in communities that have high COVID transmission. The recommendation is different for older students because the CDC says they are more likely to be exposed to COVID and spread it than younger children. The CDC continues to recommend at least 6 feet of distance between adults in school and between adults and students. Also in common areas and while eating. 3 new studies out today from the CDC address the spread of COVID-19 in schools. One looked at K-12 schools in St. Louis County and Springfield, Missouri. Those schools are doing a number of COVID mitigation measures, including mandating masks. It found that of the 102 people tested, 2 had positive test results indicating likely school-based COVID secondary transmission. That low transmission is similar in the new study of elementary schools in Salt Lake County, Utah, and in a study of K-12 schools in Florida, where fewer than 1% of students were identified as having school-related COVID-19. Surgeons are calling it a milestone in lung transplantation. A team at Northwestern Medicine has successfully performed a double lung transplant on a COVID-19 patient. The hospital provided us these pictures and video. Doctors used lungs from a donor who also had COVID-19. That patient, a man in his 60s who worked in healthcare, got the virus last May. He was on a machine to keep his heart and lungs going for months, and he still needed a ventilator afterwards. The donor was a person who died an accidental death, but before that had mild to moderate COVID and had fully recovered with no permanent lung damage. That surgery happened last month and is thought to be the first of its kind.
Because these patients are much sicker, the patients who need lung transplant after COVID, they're much sicker, and their risk of dying while being on the wait list is quite high. So it's important that we try to expand our donor pool as much as possible so we can timely transplant them.
Surgeons say they're not sure exactly how much just yet, but the pandemic has created more demand for lung transplants, at least in the short term. Even before the pandemic, about 10 to 15% of people who needed the organ died waiting. Other important observations from this particular surgery is that patients appear to be doing very well, and the lungs may actually last longer than a traditional transplant recovery.
They only had an acute illness, so rest of their body is in pretty good shape. So once we fix the lungs, and based on the recovery we are seeing in them, their body should, be in pretty good shape, unlike those other patients.
There have been 14 double lung transplants on COVID-19 survivors at Northwestern Medicine. That's more than any other hospital in the world. Doctors say they've also been very happy that none of the COVID survivors have experienced acute rejection. That's when the body basically fights the new organ. In typical transplant patients, the rejection rate is about 30% within the first year.
Just in, a current aide of embattled New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is making new allegations of harassment. According to the New York Times, Alyssa McGrath is the first current aide to speak publicly about allegations of harassment. McGrath says in a series of interactions, the governor inquired about a lack of a wedding ring, called her beautiful in Italian, and she says that Cuomo looked down her shirt and commented about her necklace. McGrath is the latest of a half dozen former and current aides to accuse Cuomo of harassment. Governor Cuomo denies all allegations. The House passed a bill to award the Congressional Gold Medal to U.S. Capitol and Metropolitan Police officers. It's for protecting the Capitol during the January 6th riots. The final vote was 413 to 12. The 12 opposing votes were from Republicans. Congressman Louis Gohmert of Texas said that he opposed the bill because it referred to the breach as an insurrection. A Senate version of the bill passed in February.
Two big developments today in the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. He's facing charges in the death of George Floyd. A judge denied a request from the defense to delay or move the trial. Chauvin's attorney requested that because of the announcement from the city last week of a $27 million settlement with Floyd's family. The judge says the timing is unfortunate, but he will not be delaying the trial. Today, the judge also said he'll allow the jury to hear some past evidence from about a 2019 arrest when Floyd was found with drugs. There's growing urgency to help older Americans get their vaccines before more people become eligible.
Sometimes people leave voicemails where they're like on the verge of tears or really struggling because no one's really been there for them.
Why seniors are still facing these challenges and how more people are stepping up to help.